So the Spider-Verse preview did not work out for whatever reason, so I'm going to just go ahead and record it for you guys right here, right now. We're talking Across the Spider-Verse, what news has just hit as well, and breaking down some of my theories that I think are going to happen as well. But first, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to drop a like and subscribe so you guys don't miss out on any of the latest videos from the Comic Book Nerd. And let's just go ahead and hop into the Across the Spider-Verse preview. It's going to be great. Can't wait for this movie. So, first piece of news though today, if you guys did not hear yesterday, Sydney Sweeney has officially confirmed that she will be in Madam Web. And that's great because I think Sony needs an actress like her. And I think that Sony needs something to base their Spider-Man universe off of. And I think Across the Spider-Verse is a great start with Madam Web building up to that. I think that's a great start for Sony. But number one, our first question on the day is what world is Miles going to be going to? I think Miles, obviously, we already know he's going to go to the Lego world. I think that's a given. And I think he's going to go to Venom's world. Now, we got that still back in a couple weeks ago, I believe. We got a still of Venom or the Spot going to Venom's world and seeing Mrs. Chen and purchasing something from that gas station that's really famous in Venom. So, I believe that it's obviously not out of the question that Venom can go to Miles can go to Venom's world, or Venom can cross over and go into Miles' world as well. Obviously, it's called Across the Spider-Verse for a reason. That reason being there's a lot of spider people in it. Wouldn't be shocked if we saw Venom as well, or we see Miles go into live action a couple of times throughout this movie. Hopefully that happens. If it does, great for Sony. I think that's a great way to go. Number two, continuing on from that as well, I got a few more thoughts. I think Miles is going to go into Gwen's world. Obviously, we know it's a love story between. That leads into my next question. But Gwen's world, I think Miles is going to be going to. I think he will also go to Spider-Man 2099's world. I think we'll see a glimpse of that. And I think that we will see possibly the OG cast, everyone's world, Spider-Man Noir, Peter Porker's world, obviously all of those people from the OG movie, I think he'll link up with them, and I think that they will obviously go to some world to try to escape from Spider-Man 2099. I think they'll go to 2099's world as well. Moving on though, the next question, which is number two of this, is what is the relationship going to be between Gwen and Miles? One, we know it's a love story between Gwen and Miles. We have seen this in some of the clips. Obviously, even the first teaser that we got all the way back a year ago, I believe, or a couple of years ago, when Gwen and Miles listening to Gwen and obviously saying, is Spider-Man grounded? Obviously, that's flirting. We see that. But I believe that Gwen and Miles are going to go through some type of struggle in this movie. And then I think they'll eventually be together by the end of this movie. And I think we'll talk about what I think as well coming up in the next question too. But Miles and Gwen, there's going to be some competition for Gwen. Obviously, we've seen a little bit of this in a clip when some spider person is asking Gwen if she's single or whatever. It's kind of funny, just a little laugh, but still, there's some competition for Gwen, and I think that Miles is going to be the one who ends up with Gwen. Obviously, we know it's a love story. That's going to be great for Sony as well. Moving on, number three, who dies? Does anyone die in this movie? That's a big, big question. I think Miles' dad dies. I also think Gwen may die as well. I think Spider-Man 2099 and the Spot live. That sets up Beyond the Spider-Verse as well. But I think Gwen may die. I have a feeling that Gwen is going to die. If she doesn't, that's cool with me too. But I just have a theory that Gwen's going to die. And I think for sure Miles' dad or somebody close to Miles dies. It may be Peter B. Parker. It may be Miles' dad. Obviously, we've seen some clips of what looks to be Miles' dad dying, but we don't know yet because we haven't seen the movie. But again, I still think that Miles' dad or someone close to Miles is going to die. Miles' dad, Gwen, or Peter B. Parker as well. I think it's a great possibility that Peter B. Parker does die because of that Mayday setup that we got in the trailer. I think that is going to be setting up something as well, but I still think that someone close to Miles definitely dies. Number four. Now, this isn't really a question. This is just something interesting. Is the Venom still? I want to talk about the live action Venom still. If Miles does end up going to live action Venom, we haven't gotten anything for Venom 3 yet. We haven't gotten an official announcement from Sony about Venom 3. We know they've been working on the script from Tom Hardy has been showed us that they've been working on the script. But again, we haven't gotten any official confirmation of a release date or anything like that for Venom 3. So if we do see Venom, I think it will be in like a flashback or something when Mrs. Chen is telling Miles something. Or even if Miles goes into live action, the Spot can go into live action because the Spot is just black and white. I mean, and he teleports. So that's obviously something to watch in this movie as well. But I still think that we may see Miles go into Venom's world, Tobey or Andrew, and then we'll talk about that leading into that in the next question. Which, the next question is, how does this movie end? Now, this is just a theory that I have that's out there right now for me. I haven't said this on the channel yet, and I'm going to right now. I think the movie ends with Miles in the MCU. Now, hear me out. We've gotten stuff on Twitter saying that the movie ends with a cliffhanger and that we will definitely see Tom, Tobey, and Andrew in this. What if we see Tom and Miles meet at the end of this movie in Tom Holland's apartment from No Way Home, in the suit from No Way Home? Beyond the Spider-Verse will pick up right where that leaves off in the MCU. Tom will help Miles in Beyond the Spider-Verse if the contracts align up with Sony and everything. Obviously, we know that situation. Beyond the Spider-Verse will show us Miles going back, or trying to get back home, and I think he will go to Tobey's universe. I think he will go to Andrew's universe. I think Andrew and Tobey will first come to Miles' universe and then leave and go back to their separate universes in the movie. I think Miles goes to Tobey's, goes to Andrew's, goes to the Venomverse, and Beyond the Spider-Verse. That's why it's called Beyond the Spider-Verse. And I don't think he gets home until after Secret Wars. I think they're setting up Miles to be in the MCU for Secret Wars. It's been rumored heavily that we will be getting Miles in the MCU and Beyond the Spider-Verse, which comes out next year. But I think the movie ends with Miles in the MCU with Tom, and then Tom and Miles in Beyond the Spider-Verse are going to try and figure out what is happening and how to get Miles back home to his universe, and then it eventually doesn't work out. And then I think we see Miles stick around in the MCU for Avengers: The Kang Dynasty and Avengers: Secret Wars. I think that's fully a great possibility. Sony, if you make it happen, I'm just grateful for that because I would have gotten the theory right. But I think that's going to happen, and I think at the end of Secret Wars, I think his mom and dad are both going to be dead if they aren't already dead by the end of this movie. That's just a theory that I have out there. That's nothing personal. I just think that would be a great theory. I think that's a theory. Now, moving on to the final question. Will we see Tom, Andrew, and Tobey, the three Spider-Man, Peter Parker 1, 2, and 3? I think we're seeing them. I mean, Sony obviously today revealed that Tobey, Andrew, and Tom, or that you need to watch these three movies to know what the Spider-Verse is, or these three Spider-People's movies to know what the Spider-Verse is and how they interconnect. And I think that with that live-action Venom scene, I think that's a given that we will see Tom, Andrew, and Tobey in there. I think it's a given, but that is all. I really think it's a given that we will see Tobey, Tom, and Andrew. But let me know what you think about this theory in the comments down below. Just a quick little Across the Spider-Verse preview for you guys. Trying to get this out earlier just didn't work with timing and everything, but obviously, let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Let me know how hyped you are for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse tomorrow. It's going to be really, really, really good. I can't wait for Across the Spider-Verse tomorrow, part 1. And we've heard it ends off a cliffhanger. So, that's going to be all for today's video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.